Speaking of real Ghostbusters, welcome fellow Ghostbusters fans. Thank you to everyone who checked out the history of the Real Ghostbusters 1986 edition. And that video featured original Real Ghostbusters figures from 1986, but the carded versions were the reissues, which are currently on Big Bad Toy Store. So I thought I would take a couple minutes here and give you just a closer look of the differences between the reissues, the Kenner Classics, and the originals. I've also got an original Ecto back there. I didn't cover Ecto in the video because that was a later release. It didn't come out in 86. We got an original Ecto. We've got the Kenner Classics Ecto, which is not in stock at Big Bad Toy Store at the moment. They do have a Frozen Empire reworked version. And let's kick it off with Dr. Pete Venkman. This is the original, 1986. This is the Kenner Classics reissue. The Grabber Ghost. And the biggest difference is this one is like a lighter blue. This one is nice and shiny. That's the big advantage of getting the reissues. They're mint condition. So just glossier. I don't know if this one was originally glossy and he's just gotten more worn over the years. But there's a definite color difference. Much darker on this guy. Light seems to travel through this guy a lot better than this guy. Got a light box on either side of this setup, so this guy's just staying pretty dark. Ecto wants to roll out. And a look at the two Dr. Venkmans. Seems like the green eyes on the reissue are a little lighter green. Skin coloration looks really similar. Hair is just ever so slightly lighter, but looks like the same mold. Paint job is very, very similar. Ghost symbol on the arm. Very, very similar. The proton packs are a little different. So the way you connect the proton packs, I was hoping to use the reissue proton packs for my Winston because the pack on my Winston is a little busted, but they're not the same. They've actually changed them a little bit. So this is an original proton pack. It's got like this little peg here that clips in, and this one is just like a straight post. It's a totally different setup. So on the originals, you get this nice little clip. And it can twist too. It's not held in by anything other than this post. And on the reissues, instead of a big hole, there's a smaller hole, and there's kind of this indentation here. So these packs have these little nubs right here. Push in pretty snugly, but those little nubs catch, which prevent the pack from twisting, which is actually nice that they can't twist on you, because on some of them they kind of go crooked when the figure's just standing there because of the weight of the neutrino wand. So that's kind of a fix that they've come up with. It's just really too bad that the packs don't work at all with the originals. So you can't grab a cheap reissue and arm up your vintage Ghostbusters that have lost all their accessories. Unless you use some sticky tack or maybe even just some kind of a washer. You might be able to put some kind of a little washer in there to make it more compatible. And as far as the packs themselves go, this seems like a little bit of a less glossy plastic they used on the new ones. I mean, this is a really, really old pack, so it's lost a lot of its original shine. But this brand new out of the package reissue one just feels a little like that dull plastic that they use on the Walmart Transformers reissues. Same cord though, that's really nice. or almost the exact same power cord going from the pack to the neutrino wand. All the other details seem to be recreated. Very, very maybe slight difference in this little thing, whatever it is there. And then the actual neutrino wand, the reissue, has the Ghostbusters symbol on it like the original one. And the original one, twist to fire it up. Same with the new ones. It seems to me that the color on the streams is not quite as vivid on as the originals. So the green ones are pretty close. I think the one with the biggest difference is Egon's, because the stream on the original Egon proton pack is red, and this one is a really dull, it looks like it's been out in the sun for 10 years. It's hard for the camera to pick that up. Maybe, yeah, on a darker surface you can see it a lot better. You know that film you get on some toys and you pull it off, and the Turtles toys seem to have it a lot. Some of those Turtles toys that came out about 10 years ago. Some classics, Masters of the Universe classics figures are getting that kind of white. It's not dust, it's like a white film. That's what that seems to have. It doesn't come off though. And Ray's reissue stream. These are pretty close. Winston's on the reissue is a little less, what's the word, saturated, vibrant. It's still yellow, but this is the original stream right here. It looks a lot more vibrant than the reissue one. And let's compare Dr. Stance's now. Once again, the reissue Ghost seems darker, a lot glossier. Light doesn't travel through it as well as this one. Same mold, it's just darker. And then Dr. Stance. Biggest difference here is the hair seems a lot lighter on the reissue. But the suit looks just about the same color. Very, very slight paint differences. Yeah, just mainly the hair is the biggest difference with Ray. And on Winston, very, very little difference there. This one, because it's an original and he's blue, camera can't really pick it up, but he's starting to get that just very slight kind of greenish tinge to him from being so old. Whereas this one is nice and fresh, looking light blue. I would say these are the closest of the reissues so far. These are like there's no paint difference on the head, not really. Maybe if you use a microscope. And even Winston's ghosts are the closest. Instead of being very, very dark, the reissue Chomper Ghost is just about the same color. The biggest difference is he's hollow. The original one wasn't, so I guess like Egon's ghost, you can try to, well, a little thick to stick on Winston's head, maybe just barely fit on Egon's. And finally Dr. Spengler. It's an original Gulper ghost. This is a reissue. The reissue again is darker, but the reissue can be put over top of the heads, the Ghostbusters, and Egon, like my Winston, just the ever so slightest green tinge, which the camera I don't think is really picking up on the suit, whereas this one looks like it did when it was brand new. And the head sculpt, very close again. So really Ray is the only figure that has a slightly different color used for his hair. It's not even all that drastic. I mean, when you hold it up to a camera, yeah, it's noticeable, but from arm's length away, it's really not that big a deal. And comparing the two Ecto-1s, they are virtually identical, except for one of the biggest differences is the original one has chrome on the wheels, and for the reissue, they just went with silver paint. And then the other difference is on the original one, it's all blue. It's all the same color, the dash, as well as the all the console equipment. And there's all the same color, but on the reissue, the top of the dashboard is blue, but black. Black detailing for all of the console equipment in there. You won't even see that. I mean, I'm holding the flashlight in there so that you can see that it's such a minor difference, but there's so few differences, I figured I'd point it out. And one more difference I wouldn't have caught if it wasn't for one of these proton pack racks from Charlie's Custom Toy Shop. Charlie's racks fit in nice and snug in the vintage Ecto, but in the reissue Ecto, it doesn't fit in nice and snug. So the wheel wells are actually further apart in the reissue Ecto than from the original Ecto. Everything else is the same. It's got removable chair with guns. It's a little tighter than the original one. Again, mint condition. See on the original one I have over here, these are loose. They tend to droop by themselves. Need to tighten them up. It's just nice to have a brand new toy that you don't have to crazy glue or nail polish up. Fresh brand new stickers on it. Everything is nice and working great. It still has the old gimmick of switch it to this and it'll pull in the hook that's in the back. The claw gimmick, so you can, how does this work again? Switch to the side, claw comes out, grab a ghost. I do not have enough space for what I'm doing right now. Grab a ghost with the claw, and then switch that over. And then when you roll it on the ground, it'll pull the ghost into the Ecto. Affordable reissues aren't really a thing anymore these days. Seems like more often than not they're overpriced and the quality is just such a far cry from the original that they are reissuing. These are a really, really pleasant surprise. The price isn't insane on them. The quality on them is like almost exact, mainly because the originals weren't really all that complicated. The originals were not G1 1984 Transformers, just a 5 POA action figure. Great quality. The neutrino wand can take a bit of a bump. I'm not going to throw these against the wall to safety test them, but while I was setting this one up, I did drop Ray. And I thought, uh-oh. Stress mark, brakes, nothing. So, a little bit of bend in this plastic. It can take a little bit of abuse. Probably be fantastic for kids if you've got kids. I think they'd be able to hold up to some rough play, but if you're a vintage Real Ghostbusters fan and you had these as a kid, I saw a couple of comments on the history video saying I had them, wish I still had them. Well, you can have them again and not break the bank. You can get all 4 of these guys for under $100, and if you wait, they might go on clearance too. This particular set that I opened up, there was a bundle, and they all went on sale, and I forget what the price was, but I think it worked out to under $10 per figure. So I originally was just going to get the set so that I could use that pack with my vintage Winston, since I busted off the little handle and also cracked the handle on my original. This is like 30-year-old tape repair job that I put on there all those years ago as a kid. And then when I opened these up, because I've got a set that's mint on card too, I realized, oh, the packs aren't actually compatible. But yeah, I'm actually surprised now that I've taken a close look and compared them side by side with the originals. I can tell you, as someone who owns the originals, the reissues are fantastic. You cannot go wrong, especially for the value. Toys should be affordable or cheap, another word for it. They shouldn't break the bank, especially reissues of your old favorites. I do not like how some companies put on the nostalgia tax and they take advantage of those good old warm fuzzy feelings of mom and dad buying you toys, or grandma and grandpa. It's nice to see reissues like this that are basically, they cost a much more reasonable price and being extremely close to what we had back in '86. Keep up the great work, Kenner Classics reissue team. Let's see some Centurions next. Thanks for watching. Nerd Mistake!